Okay, picture this. It's late, Thursday night, maybe 9:30. You got that quiet hum of a security checkpoint, those harsh floodlights cutting through the dark. And this Korean sedan just pulls up. The driver. He looks sharp, confident, like he belongs there. They identify him. Professor Saeed, a lawyer.
The picture of respectability, right?
Totally. But then, the computer screen flashes.
Yeah.
And the story changes fast.
Yeah.
4 prior convictions. And not just that. This calm, professional guy, he's a fugitive. Walked right out of prison months earlier when security basically collapsed.
It's quite the reveal.
It really is. And look, this isn't just about a shady lawyer cutting corners. It's a deep dive into how a really brilliant legal mind deliberately chose crime. How he weaponized his knowledge. Today, we're tracing the path of Avocato, the lawyer. From a promising law grad to a master forger, and then something else entirely. A professional car thief.
And that's the core question for us, isn't it? How did that legal training actually shape his criminal career? We want to figure out how he went from law school to fugitive, how he built this fake identity, and ran a criminal operation that was, frankly, incredibly successful because he understood the system's weaknesses.
It wasn't just random crime.
No, not at all. It feels very calculated, a transfer of skills, you could say, from law to crime.
So let's rewind. Go back to Giza in Baba around 2002. What was his background?
Well, the story starts with his mother, actually. His father passed away, and she really carried the financial load to get him through law school. Her big dream for him was stability, a respected lawyer upholding the law.
The classic immigrant dream, in a way, or just a mother's dream.
Absolutely. And he had the potential. Sources say he was naturally gifted, incredibly smart, picked up complex legal stuff almost instantly.
But that intelligence, it went sideways.
It seems like it. Pretty quickly, he developed this perspective. He saw the law less as a tool for justice and more like a game, a system to be manipulated.
Right, you mentioned Falaway. Like a hustle.
Exactly. A kind of clever maneuvering, finding loopholes. He seemed to think that being smart meant exploiting the system, especially if the client could pay. Ethics weren't really part of the equation.
So he basically decided the rules didn't apply to him because he was clever enough to get around them.
That's the feeling you get. And legitimate law firms, they weren't going to go for that. So after about 2 years, around 2007, he realized that wasn't his path. If he wanted big money, real success as he defined it, he needed to work with people who didn't care about the rules either.
So he leans into the corruption, opens his own small office Kit Kat area, and he starts winning. A lot.
Yeah, but how he was winning. That's the key. It wasn't brilliant legal arguments. It was Tazwir, forgery.
So the success was built on faking it.
Completely. He figured out, look, why argue the law when you can just change the facts?
Yeah.
Altering official documents, case files, even small changes could swing a judgment entirely his way.
And he wasn't doing this alone, presumably?
No, he built a network. Professional forgers, people inside government agencies he could bribe to steal or tamper with records. It was sophisticated. He was delivering wins for his clients. But it was all built on fraud.
And personally, life seemed good.
On the surface, yeah. By 2010, he's married, 2 kids, got this image of success. And he seems to have genuinely believed it was all down to his own cleverness, his Falaway. His mother apparently pleaded with him, fear God, but he wasn't hearing it.
But that kind of operation, it can't last forever. It's inherently risky.
Exactly. And it didn't last. In 2010, security officials stumbled onto forgery in an official document during some routine review. It traced back to him.
That was it.
That was pretty much it. Arrested, tried, sentenced to prison.
Again.
And the Bar Association. They struck his name off the rolls immediately. His respectable life, the one he literally forged, was over. Officially, anyway.
But then, chaos intervenes.
January
2011, the revolution. Prisons break open.
Right, mass escapes across the country. And Saeed, who was already known inside as Sid al-Avocato, the lawyer, he just walked out with everyone else.
He's a fugitive now.
Yeah.
What's his first move? Does he lie low?
No, that lawyer's brain kicks right back in. First priority, identity management. He immediately gets new official papers forged, changes his name from Saeed to Saeed.
Okay. Slight change, but significant.
Very. He knew he couldn't practice law officially ever again, couldn't open an office, so Saeed the lawyer. That became his cover story. His professional disguise. He'd meet people, potential clients, whatever, only in public places, cafes mostly.
Still playing the part, just without the actual license or office.
Exactly. And then comes this moment. Completely random, apparently. It changes everything again.
What happens?
He's at a cafe doing his Saeed the lawyer thing. He spots a parked car outside, same model as his own, a Korean sedan 2007 model, pretty common car.
Oh.
Then just on impulse, apparently, he walks over, takes out his own car key, and tries the door.
No way.
It opens, he tries the ignition, the engine starts.
You're kidding. His key worked in a random identical car.
That's the story. And the source calls it a devilish idea that hit him right then and there. He doesn't hesitate. He drives the car off, parks it on some quiet side street in Mbaba.
Wow, okay, so that's a huge leap. From forgery to grand theft auto, just like that.
But he doesn't just ditch it. Again, the calculated mind. He searches the car first, finds the owner's details.
Smart or cunning, I guess.
Right. Then he waits, lets the owner stew for 2 days. Then he makes the call.
Introducing himself as,
Oh, you're the lawyer, the helpful mediator.
oh, this is brilliant in a terrible way.
What's his story?
It's a masterpiece of deflection.
Yeah.
He says, basically, look, my clients accidentally bought your car. The paperwork was bad. They didn't realize it was stolen. Now they're stuck. They contacted me, the lawyer, to sort this mess out.
So he's positioning himself as the solution, not the problem.
Precisely.
Yeah.
He frames it like a business dispute, a mistake, suggests maybe they could just split the difference, avoid official headaches, get the car back quickly, and the owner, they must be desperate by this point.
Totally desperate. The owner immediately agrees to pay, offers 20,000 Egyptian pounds to get the car back.
And Saeed facilitates the return.
Does the whole transaction in under 2 hours, gets the cash, hands back the car.
So that 20,000 EGP, how much was that, roughly, in context?
Well, it was a decent chunk of change, but the real shock for him was the efficiency. Think about it. He made maybe, the equivalent of $25,000, $30,000 USD today, maybe more, depending on the exact conversion back then, in just 3 days, with almost zero effort compared to his forgery schemes.
Yeah, that's a powerful incentive.
It completely changed his trajectory. Forgery required years, networks, bribes, constant risk of long sentences. This accidental car theft, insane ROI, return on investment.
So the lawyer persona, the cafe meetings,
Yeah.
that just becomes window dressing for the new hustle.
Pretty much. He ditches the pretense of even fake lawyering and goes full-time into professional car theft. This accidental success showed him a much faster, seemingly easier path.
Did he need to learn how to steal cars properly? Or did that quick mastery he had with law apply here too?
Seems like the latter. He just got it. Became an expert almost overnight. Focused on specific areas in Baba, Mohandasan, Aguza. Targeted popular models he knew he could get into easily.
And he's doing this repeatedly throughout 2011.
Multiple times a month, yeah. And you have to remember the backdrop. 2011 post-revolution chaos.
Right, the security vacuum we talked about.
Exactly. Police presence was minimal. Courts weren't functioning properly. People were scared. It was the perfect environment for him to scale up this operation without much fear of getting caught.
And his method stayed the same. The helpful lawyer mediator.
That was plan A, the ransom strategy. Always the friendly middleman. But he had a plan B.
Which was?
If the owner refused to pay, or if he couldn't reach them quickly, he didn't just abandon the car. He'd have it dismantled immediately.
Right.
Sold for parts to shady dealers.
So he always won. He engineered it so there was no losing scenario for him.
Exactly. A no-loss business model built on theft and exploitation.
Which brings us to this crucial point. Why wasn't he caught sooner? If he's stealing multiple cars a month.
The reporting gap. This is where his legal background, his understanding of psychology and systems really paid off.
Oh.
Think about it from the victim's perspective. Your car's stolen. You're panicked. Then, 2 or 3 days later, you get a call from this lawyer, Saeed. He says he can get your car back, quick, for a price.
Okay.
What's the alternative? File a police report. Deal with bureaucracy. Wait weeks, maybe months, maybe never see the car again. The police are overwhelmed anyway in this period.
So paying the ransom, even though it's extortion, feels like the quicker, easier, more certain option?
Precisely. It's the path of least resistance, the most rational financial choice for many victims in that chaotic moment. So most of them, they paid up, got their car back quickly, and never filed an official police report.
He understood the system's failure points and the victim's likely response. That's chillingly smart.
It kept him under the radar for a remarkably long time. But, even the smartest systems have flaws. Or maybe people make mistakes.
So the police did eventually start noticing something.
Yeah. By early 2012, they started reviewing the few reports that were filed. And a pattern emerged.
What was the pattern?
The timing. Cars consistently stolen between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m., usually shortly after the owner parked it for the night.
Suggesting surveillance,
Yeah,
not random theft.
exactly. This wasn't some joyrider. This was planned, targeted, meticulous.
And then came the case that broke it open.
Yeah, early 2012, a younger victim this time. Saeed pulls the usual routine, demands a high ransom, 200,000 AGP again.
Big money.
Huge money. The victim tries to negotiate, offers 100,000, and Saeed, well, he loses his cool for a second, gets angry.
What does he say?
He threatens him, says something like, pay the full amount or I'll chop the car into pieces and send them to you.
Oof. That's not the smooth mediator anymore.
Not at all. And that threat, combined with the location, the 5 a.m. theft time, it clicked for the police.
Yeah.
This matched the pattern. They realized this was their guy.
So they see their chance. What do?
They tell the young victim, agree to the price. Agree to the full 200,000 EGP. Play along.
Set a trap.
Exactly. Saeed, apparently thrilled about this big payoff, starts coordinating the exchange. But he's slippery.
How so?
That paranoia kicks in. The instincts of a fugitive, maybe. He keeps changing the meeting location multiple times just hours before the planned handover.
Trying to shake off any potential surveillance.
Right. But the police anticipated this. They didn't just stake out one spot. They set up ambushes across 3 different potential locations he'd mentioned. They covered their bases, and it worked. They caught him, arrested him right there inside the stolen car.
And I bet he tried to talk his way out of it.
Instantly, defaulted straight back to his cover. I'm Saeed Kamal, lawyer. Pulls out the forged ID, the fake bar card.
But this time, it didn't work.
No, the police weren't buying it. A quick check. The ID's fake. They run his prints, figure out his real name. Said Kamal.
And connect him to the prison escape.
Everything unraveled. The fugitive status. The 3 prior forgery convictions. The whole carefully constructed facade dissolved. The lawyer who chose crime, whose cleverness fueled his rise and his fall, was finally caught, inside the very symbol of his criminal enterprise.
Wow. It's quite a story. The talent he had.
That's the real tragedy here, isn't it? It's not just that he lost his career, it's the complete waste, the perversion of that intelligence. He was genuinely gifted.
But he chose the quick fix, the illegal shortcut.
Consistently. First with forgery, manipulating the system from within. Then, when chaos offered a new opportunity, with outright theft, exploiting the system's collapse, he used his understanding of law, procedure, even psychology to become a highly effective criminal.
So thinking about this whole story, what's the takeaway for you, for the listener?
For me, it highlights that gap between intelligence and wisdom. Saeed was incredibly smart. He could master complex systems, but he lacked the wisdom, the ethical foundation, to use that intelligence for anything constructive. He basically architected his own downfall.
It makes you think, doesn't it? We're leaving you with this final thought. Consider that moment in 2011. Society's rules, law and order, they felt like they were temporarily suspended. Was Saeed just a product of that chaos? Someone who saw an opportunity in the breakdown and grabbed it?
Was this path set much earlier? The moment he decided that exploiting a loophole, being clever, was more important than being honest. Was the car theft just the inevitable next step for someone who had already fundamentally rejected integrity?
That's the question, really. Opportunity versus character. Where does one end and the other begin when faced with that kind of overwhelming temptation? Something to think about.